Hello, YouTube. We're going to watch a new Fat Files today. Also, this is Chelzor. Hi, I'm Chelzor. I forgot to say that part. Anyway, artifact smuggling and tax avoidance via Hobby Lobby. Grab your snackies, grab your bevies, let me know what you and drink down below. Let's get to watching. I have never in my life messed up my opening. Ever. New experience for me.
All right, here's the deal. My wife dragged me into a Hobby Lobby, and I was in that store for all of about 30 seconds before I knew they were up to something. So I go home, I look into it, and what I found is so insane. I wasn't even mad. I was just impressed.
I'm frustrated because you have two main arts and craft stores, right? And as a cosplayer, I gotta go to an arts and craft store, basically. You got Michael's and you got Hobby Lobby, and they have different things. Like, they have a lot of the same stuff, but, like, also a lot of different stuff, and it's annoying. It's annoying to me personally.
All right, look, if you don't know, Hobby Lobby is the biggest arts and crafts chain in the United States. Technically, Michael's has more locations, but Hobby Lobby makes way more money, so I'm calling them the biggest. Yeah. Last year, they made $7.9 billion selling knickknacks and arts and crafts supplies. On top of that,
and live, laugh, love things and crosses.
They pay their employees $19.25 an hour minimum wage. On top of that, they donate 50% of their profits to charity, and then if you Google them, you find out they've been involved in more high-profile scandals than a Kennedy family reunion, including smuggling religious artifacts into the United States and somehow turning them into a massive tax write-off. And we're gonna get into all of it right after word from our sponsor. This video is brought to you by Supremacy World War III, a free online PvP military-based strategy game. It's based on a World War III type scenario where you can pick your country or you can pick a state inside of the United States because, well, let's...
Question, is it gonna give me blueprints that me as a civilian am not supposed to have access to?
Face it, that's the only way it's going to be fair to everybody else. We just saw what Missouri did to Iran. Now, personally, I like to start off playing as Iowa for obvious reasons. Sometimes I like to attack Minnesota right out of the gate, turn them into Upper Iowa. Sometimes I...
What is this game? Because it's coming off as Risk. It's coming off as U.S. Risk.
Everybody else, we just saw what Missouri did to Iran. Now, personally, I like to start off playing as Iowa for obvious reasons. Sometimes I like to attack Minnesota right out of the gate, turn them into Upper Iowa. Sometimes I like to attack Nebraska so I can prove once and for all that our corn is better. Okay, and I know what you're thinking. Why don't you attack Missouri? Well, for obvious reasons. They have B-2 stealth bombers and I don't want the smoke. I mean, I'm gonna fight them eventually, but I need some time to build up my army with tanks, jets, and nuclear subs. So if you want to give Supremacy World War III a try, it's free.
Nuclear subs in Iowa? Where are they? He just got them in a lake? What is...
Both available on PC and mobile. If you use my link and discount code down below, you're gonna get a bunch of extra freebies. Let's get back to the video. All right, we're just gonna take this.
Existential crisis. Something you can see if you look deep in my eyes at the start of every stream on Twitch.
From the top, let me set the scene for you so we can go on this voyage together. Wife drags me to a place called Hobby Lobby. It's in what appears to be an abandoned Kmart. We take two steps inside the door, and in my head, I'm thinking, okay, this is clearly the knick-knack slash...
You walk in, immediately, you smell fake flowers. The place smells like fake flowers. If you don't know what that smells like, walk into a Hobby Lobby.
Gift shop area of the store. They've done what a lot of other places do, like Cracker Barrel, museums, tourist attractions. They have the little gift shop knickknack area right by the doors so they can upsell you on the way in and the way out. That makes sense to me. Never really seen it in a department store, so that's kind of unique, but whatever. So we continue walking through the store and I'm thinking to myself, holy shit, this knickknack gift shop area is enormous. And then we keep walking. And we keep walking, and the knickknacks just never fucking end. They're everywhere. And then it dawns on me, the entire abandoned Kmart I'm inside of is one giant gift shop. And this...
Not entirely true, because they do have crafting supplies. Like resin, and fabric, and notions, and framing departments. Their framing department is actually pretty good. I'm a little mad about it. Their fabric section is not, and their notions leave a lot to be desired. I'm frustrated about it every day. I try not to go in there. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Point, the logical side of my brain is like, there's absolutely no way. So I start picking up the pace. I walk every aisle. I walk the entire store, progressively going into more and more of an existential crisis, because there's absolutely no way that an abandoned Kmart full of knickknacks is a profitable business. But that's it. It's the whole thing. It's just...
You know what else they have? A very large card section. Like greeting cards, like birthday cards, which are hard to find now for some reason. They also sell model kits. Pick a model kit. You want a little car model? They got that. You want a Gundam? They got those.
An abandoned Kmart full of knickknacks is a profitable business, but that's it. It's the whole...
And also, if you play like D&D or like Warhammer or like 40K, Warhammer 40K, whatever it is, all of those where you have, like, you make a little map and you build it up and you need little miniatures for whatever reason, like trees or something. They have that. So you can make a little map to play on.
Thing. It's just, it's nothing but knickknacks. So I just stop in the middle of an aisle, I pull out my phone, I Google, how much money does Hobby Lobby make annually? $7.9 billion last year. There's no fucking way.
I don't believe you.
I've walked the entire store at this point. It's just knickknacks and arts and craft supplies. That's it. The entire store is literally an elderly woman throwing the world's biggest garage sale inside of an abandoned Kmart, and somehow they're making a shit ton of money. At this point, I'm thinking like, okay,
they also, listen, okay, I don't, someone who has had to use it often over the years. One, they're a craft supply store. They do actually have a lot of craft supplies. It is in the back of the store. They'll have blanks. And by blanks, I mean t-shirts, tote bags, different things that you can print on, like wood blanks, different things that you can print on, paint on, etc. They have all of your art supplies. Any of your crafting supplies. You want to make jewelry, they got that shit. You want to do beading, they have that. You want to do resin related stuff, they have that. You want to resurface something, they basically have that. You want to paint something, pick a different kind of paint, they got them. You want to do charcoal drawings, they got the stuff for that too. You want to crochet, they got the yarn for you. They have... You want a scrapbook? Jesus Christ, you want a scrapbook? They have all of your scrapbook related supplies. Do you want to build a dollhouse? They don't have the full lumber. They have everything else to make the dollhouse pretty and little furniture and stuff. There's a lot. I'm not even joking. There is a lot of stuff. They have a big greeting card section. They have a seasonal section where you can buy decorations for whatever holiday is coming up. They have, around Christmas, it's crazy because they have a lot of like Christmas trees and ornaments and all kinds of stuff like that. And the reason why I'm saying all this is not to be like, hey, go shop at Hobby Lobby. You do not have to shop at Hobby Lobby. However, I have a feeling it's one of those things that probably there is one close to a small town, and that's probably where a lot of older people in those small towns go to get their supplies. Because where else will they go, especially now that Joann's is closed? Yes, Joann's was bought by Michael's, but what does that mean? So far, we're not sure. So it's a whole thing, okay? When I was taking like my art classes in college, I had to go to Hobby Lobby to buy stuff because sometimes Michael's didn't have it. My Michael's is small. I have one, it's small, it's very limited. My Hobby Lobby is big, so they would have more stuff than my Michael's does. Also, do you need cake decoration supplies? They got that shit too. Do you want home decor? Got a lot of stuff like that. Do you want a basket because you're going to make like a get well soon basket or some shit? They got that. They have Anyway.
They're selling drugs out the back door or something. There's no way to logically explain this. So I get back together with my wife. She's got all the knickknacks and shit that she's buying. We go into checkout, and I'm standing in this checkout longer than I'm standing at the DMV.
I personally prefer physical stores. It drives me crazy, absolutely out of my mind, pissed off that I cannot physically go into a store and buy half the shit that I need. Like, I like to physically shop at physical stores. I don't actually leave my house that often, okay? But if I need something, I'm like, shit, I kind of need it like today because I need it. I don't want to wait a week to get whatever the fuck it is. Like, let me just go pick it up. I'm so mad about this.
There's like 3 people in front of me. It takes fucking forever to get through this checkout line. So I asked my wife, I'm like, what is taking so long? I don't understand. And she's like, oh, Hobby Lobby always takes forever to check out at because they don't use barcodes. They have to type everything in by hand.
It's so annoying.
9.
Also, fun fact about this. I'm going to be pausing a lot. What's up? I have opinions about this. Sometimes okay, if you go pick something up at Hobby Lobby, check every single fucking individual item on the shelf. That is what you're there to pick up. Say you're there to pick up, I don't know, I said Gunpla earlier. Freedom Gundam. Check every single one of them because sometimes their prices are different because they have stickered prices. Like someone physically puts a sticker on with the price. Sometimes the prices are different. Oh, I'm here to get a magnifying glass keychain. Go to where the keychain is, check every single individual one because some of them are priced different.
THD03.
T.
Okay, now at this point, I'm having a full-blown panic attack because I know the barcodes came out in the late 1940s because they were inspired by Morse code and some dude that worked on the Manhattan Project invented them right after World War II. And now it's 2025 and we're not using them inside of the store. There's no fucking way. I am 99% sure I died in a car wreck on the
You cannot haggle at Hobby Lobby. Do not harass those people working the registers. They are not going to haggle with you. I'm surprised he's not having a panic attack because, like, the lights, you know, like it has like those specific lights that you find in department stores that stress you out. You know what I'm talking about? Do you have any idea what I'm talking about? Like, what are they called? Anyway, the lights. I don't know how else to explain it.
way to Hobby Lobby, and now I'm stuck in knick-knack purgatory. Okay, then I take a deep breath, and I'm like, okay,
Fluorescent. Yes, fluorescent lighting. They have like the fluorescent or incandescent, whatever. I don't care. They have those like older lights. And it's just like, I don't know. And there's a lot of like, there's a lot of breakable stuff around you all the time. There's just a lot of stuff in there that you could bump into. Anyway.
I think I'm alive. Okay, there's got to be an explanation for this. And I'm like, oh, obviously, they're selling drugs out of the back. So it makes sense that they want to make checking out at this store as difficult as possible because they don't actually want to sell any of the fucking knickknacks because that's not how they make money. They make money off selling all the nose torque out of the back, right? So they're not going to want to sell the knickknacks. So that's why they make it as difficult as possible. Okay, it's got to be what's going on. So I finally get to check out. Very nice elderly woman there being my cashier. She's very polite. She's very friendly. I start full on interrogating this woman. I'm polite about it, but I'm like, do you like working here? And she's like, actually, I love working here. I've been here for fucking like 20 years. I'm like, okay, all right. And I'm like, well, what do you like about it? And she's like, well, they pay us a lot of money for how hard the job is. So I like it. We get good benefits. The company donates 50% of its profit to charity. And I'm like, okay, well, they're not selling drugs here. That's weird. And I'm like, do you mind me asking, like, how much do they pay you guys? And she's like, well, I've been here for 20 years. I make more than a lot of people here, but our starting salary is $19.25 an hour is our minimum wage here.
Get the fuck out of here.
I'm serious.
Yeah, no, I'm serious too.
Okay, now I'm completely.
Which is like crazy. They're also not open on Sundays. That is not how much they were paying when my friends worked there in like high school. That is definitely not how much they were paying. So that's probably kind of newer, I'm gonna assume. Because they would pay you more than minimum wage, but it was like $1 or $2 more than more than federal minimum wage. So we're talking like close to $9 an hour. So the $20 an hour has to be, I don't know if it's regional necessarily, or if it is just a more recent thing.
Completely flabbergasted. I'm now absolutely positive that I did die in a car wreck on the way here, and I am in fact stuck in purgatory. And she finishes checking out. I pay for my stuff, and I was like, "Am I allowed to leave?" And she's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "If I walk out that door right now, it's not just going to turn into me walking back in, is it?" And she just looks at me like I'm crazy because I fucking am at this point. And she's like, "No." And then I walk out, I get in my car, and I fucking go home. All right, so here's what happened. 1970, the founder of Hobby Lobby, David Green, took out a $600 loan and started making custom picture frames in his garage. And apparently that business went pretty well because...
Oh, no wonder their picture framing is good. That's what they're based off of. Damn. Listen, I have a lot of framed posters in my house. A lot of them. A lot of them. The grand majority of them are from Hobby Lobby, if not all of them. I have like one that was from an actual framing place, and they didn't do a good job. Hobby Lobby has done a great job every single time. Like, anyway.
By 1972, he opened up a 300 square foot arts and crafts store in Oklahoma City. And then 2 years later, he opens up another one, and then another one, and another one. And the next thing you know, he's got 1,000 arts and crafts stores all over the United States of America. How is that even possible? Well, in Oklahoma in the 1970s, when he was getting started, there was a humongous oil boom, and that's where like the oil industry is primarily located, is Oklahoma and Texas. So everybody that was living in that area had a...
Also, when I mean framing, I mean custom framing, because a lot of my posters are not American sizes, okay? Because they're not from American artists. Some of them are limited edition posters from different, like Japan or whatever. I have to get custom frames done on the grand majority of my posters. And they do a good job, and they're relatively affordable, and I'm mad about it.
Industries primarily located is Oklahoma and Texas, so everybody that was living in that area had a bunch of excess money, so all the housewives and stuff were going and buying a bunch of arts and crafts and a bunch of fucking knickknacks, and it just made his business explode with the oil boom. And now, hindsight being 2020, when I'm not actively surrounded by all the knickknacks and arts and crafts, you're able to step back and actually analyze it, and the business model does really work because they're knickknacks, they're arts and crafts. They never go bad, right? Like, it's not like a perishable item at a grocery store that, like, I need to sell this by this time frame. Like, no, if I don't sell all the...
Do you need any type of glue? Because they have basically any type of glue that you can get on a consumer market. I have many different types of glue now.
Christmas stuff this year, I'm just going to throw it in a box in the back and I'll pull it back out next Christmas season. We'll sell it then. So he really doesn't have anything going bad. He has no overhead as far as I'm going to lose this if I can't sell it right away. On top of that, I was correct. It was an abandoned Kmart. They literally go and seek out abandoned department stores to put Hobby Lobbies inside of to cut costs and overhead.
Shit just got real.
Okay, if you're not picking up what I'm putting down, it's actually the simplest business model on the planet. They just import a bunch of cheap shit from China, mark it up 10x, throw it on the shelf for a month. If it doesn't sell, they slap a 40% off poster on that entire shelf. Then people think they're saving money. They swoop in, they buy it all up, they assemble the arts and crafts themselves, and they sell it on Etsy. It's basically the spawn point for Etsy, essentially. It's just the chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A concept. They picked one thing they want to be good at. They became the best in the world at it. Okay, David Green is the Michael Jordan of selling arts and crafts and knickknacks. That's all there is to it. So how on earth did he do it? This is the crazy part. Nobody knows, including him.
No clue.
I literally read his entire book. It's called Leadership Not by the Book. And essentially, David Green is a super religious Christian man. He's literally the son of a preacher. And he basically says that Hobby Lobby is owned by God. He's just looking out for it. So whenever he has a big business decision to make, he prays about it and waits for God to tell him what to do. And then he does it. And somehow, it always works out. Like, the dude is literally just running Hobby Lobby off of vibes and it's working. It's literally either got to be divine intervention or he's the luckiest man in the history of the planet. Now, his religious convictions are also what...
It also might have a lot to do with the fact that where else are you going to go? Especially if they're looking for like defunct Kmarts or some shit, right? So like you're gonna go and you're gonna find like a department store that closed down so you can buy it for relatively cheap because the store that was there failed, which means probably the economy of that city isn't doing great. And you're gonna give them like, I'm sorry, arts and crafts can do really well. They could do bad. It can also do really well. Especially when you have a bunch of other shit that's involved. Again, do you need fake flowers for some reason? Hobby Lobby. Do you want random furniture? Hobby Lobby. Do you want a gift? Hobby Lobby. Do you want decorations? Hobby Lobby. Do you want cake decorating supplies? Hobby Lobby. Do you want scrapbooking supplies? Hobby Lobby. Do you want to craft something? Hobby Lobby. Do you want frames? Hobby Lobby. Do you want shadow boxes? Hobby Lobby. Like, they have so much shit.
Drove him to do what I would deem as a lot of pretty good stuff, like giving all of his employees a $19.25 an hour minimum wage and benefits. They also donate 50% of their annual profits to charity, which at face value is just good in general, but also if you're working at that company making well above industry standard for being a cashier or a retail worker, and then you also get the added benefit of knowing that like, hey, my company's making a bunch of money off my back, but a lot of that money's going back into charity, I'm doing some good in the world. So it's just good for the overall culture of the company. And then of course they're closed on Sunday, which regardless of whether you're religious or not, if you work in retail, you know you're always working weekends, so it's nice for the retail workers to get a weekend day off to get the same day off as the rest of society.
Yes.
Now, those same religious convictions also get him in a bunch of trouble because they've had a ton of controversies, and I'm gonna be honest with you, the vast majority of them, in my opinion, are a gigantic nothing burger. They're basically people looking for reasons to get upset.
You took everything from me.
I don't even know who you are.
Except for that time they got busted for smuggling artifacts. That one was legit, but we'll get there. We'll just gloss over the other ones real quick. They got busted because they weren't selling enough Hanukkah stuff at their Christian arts and crafts store, which, okay, like I'm
Okay, I'm sorry. This also makes me feel about the whole controversy that is around Starbucks every single Christmas. I'm offended about the Christmas cup. The dude that owns Starbucks is Jewish. I'm offended it is just right. The dude that owns Starbucks is Jewish. Like, he doesn't really have to give you Christmas stuff. I mean, he does, but then you're mad that it's just a red cup. Like, come on. Get over yourselves. Like, that drives me a little bit insane. Like, not everything is pandering to you. Okay? And I mean that just in a broad scape. I'm saying like, okay, Hobby Lobby, a Christian-owned, we'll say, store, doesn't have a lot of Hanukkah stuff. I get representation, I do. But, like, okay, Starbucks, a Jewish-owned corporation, doesn't have enough Christmas stuff. Okay, like, I'm kind of in the thing of just like, well, don't have either. Like, I don't know. This is just me. Like, this is just me. If you think about it, it's like, yeah, they're gonna pander toward their, belief system, right? Like, that's how I expect people to be, at least. But yes, it is a corporation. And yes, one of them sells actual decorations, like holiday decorations. But also, like, I don't know.
Willing to bet they weren't selling a lot of Muslim holiday stuff at the Christian arts and crafts store either. I don't go to Burger King and get mad they don't have fucking pizza. Like, you're looking.
Oh, I drink one thing at Starbucks. One thing. And the only reason I drink this is because my sister likes Starbucks. And so, like, when I'm with my sister, we have to go to Starbucks. I drink a hot chocolate, no whipped cream. That's it. I don't drink all the other bullshit they got, okay? If I'm not getting a hot chocolate because, say, we go during the summer or some shit, I am literally getting a cup of water. Like, that is it. Those are the two things I'm willing to drink at a Starbucks.
For reasons to get upset. Okay, it's 2025. If a store doesn't have what you want, I'm selling a lot of Muslim holiday stuff at the Christian arts and crafts store either. I don't go to Burger King and get mad they don't have fucking pizza. Like, you're looking for reasons to get upset. Okay, it's 2025. If a store doesn't have what you want, get on Amazon and order it. It'll be there tomorrow. Why are you picking fights for no reason? Next.
Or even better, find someone that makes shit and buy from them. Go on Etsy, though Etsy's a lot of drop shippers, but like, go on Etsy. Google it. I don't know.
Saying they got in trouble over women's contraceptive with their insurance, and they actually took this case all the way to the Supreme Court. Like, David Green was willing to let Hobby Lobby go bankrupt and close all of them over this fight. Now, I'm not saying that's necessarily a good thing, but
No, I did have issues with that one. Like, my understanding of it, and this upset me, this did happen a couple of years ago, is basically they did not want to cover birth control under their employee insurance. And you can hate me all you want, but that's bullshit. Like, I'm sorry, that's bullshit. Like, come on. Anyway.
part of me is always going to respect a man that's willing to put his balls on the line for what he believes in. So here's what happened. The birth control controversy gets played off like Hobby Lobby wasn't willing to pay for birth control with
Well, there you go. I could be wrong. Prove me wrong. I would love that, actually.
Any of its female employees. That's a partial truth. The actual truth is they weren't willing to pay for the morning after pill or the week after pill. All the other birth control was fine, which regardless.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. What insurance covers those two? Very few insurances cover those two. I'm glad that they're willing to cover the rest of the birth control, though. That's so weird. I don't know.
Regardless of how you feel about it, that's on brand for an evangelical Christian. And whether that's right or not, I don't really have any strong convictions on, but I will say this, it seems very silly.
Also, entirely off the subject, just to let you know, because those things are like $50 to $70, like the morning after pill, depending on which one you get. One, you might as well get the generic. This is someone who's whatever your opinion is, I don't care. I worked pharmacy for 7 years. There is a weight limit on those pills working. So you need to read or look up or Google before you go buy it what the weight limit is. And then if you are above the weight limit, because I think it's like 150 pounds or some shit, depending on which one you get. I don't remember what the weight is, but there is a weight limit, how much you who is going to take this pill weigh. So talk to the pharmacist at whatever pharmacy you go to pick it up to ask what you should do to make it work. Because sometimes, do not quote me on this, sometimes they're like, well, you need to take 2 or whatever. Go ask them. Go talk to the pharmacist about it. Okay? I was really big, by the way, on like not shaming people about this. That was me personally. Like, I would go to fucking war for some chickadee that is, like, having a panic attack over this thing. Like, that's me personally. You can hate me all you want. Like, whatever. But, like, also, they're basically going to force you to have a period. So be aware of that. But, yeah, be aware. There's a weight limit, all right? Talk to the pharmacist.
Whether that's right or not, I don't really have any strong convictions on, but I will say this, it seems very silly to take that court case all the way to the Supreme Court, spending millions and millions of dollars fighting for the right to force him to buy the morning after pill, when the morning after pill is $10 fucking dollars. You could have taken all the...
What? Which one?
When the
what are you talking about?
Is 10...
How much does the morning after pill cost my local Planned Parenthood because I'm under 18? Okay. This is because it's anywhere from 11 to 50. I think it's up to 70 depending on what brand you get now. I could be wrong, but I think it is. This is also Planned Parenthood costs. Be aware, they are constantly defunding Planned Parenthood. You might have to go pay for this out of pocket at, say, a Walgreens, CVS, etc. and it is going to cost you more there. Just to let you know, it will cost you more at a retail pharmacy than it is going to cost you at your Planned Parenthood.
Fucking dollars. You could have taken all the millions you spent trying to sue him into submission and bought every employee at Hobby Lobby 50 fucking morning after pills and gave it to him.
It is the same ingredient. Generics are, okay, this is how generic medication, I'm sorry. Generic medication versus name brand medication. They have the same main ingredient. Like the ingredient that does whatever the fuck it is the same chemical. Okay, ingredient, whatever. It is the other, like, binding ingredients that are different. Now, sometimes certain kinds will work better for you personally because everyone is different, all of your chemicals are different, etc. So sometimes there's different generics. There's like one name brand, right? And then there's like different generics from different manufacturers, right? Sometimes one of them might not work for you. And so if you notice like, hey, I got a different generic and it doesn't seem to be working for me, go talk to your pharmacist. A lot of times they can put in a note to very specifically order you a different generic if needed, or if none of the generics works because maybe there's like an interaction or something with like the binding ingredients or the extra ingredients that are not the main like working ingredient. Sometimes you can talk to your doctor and maybe get put on the name brand and your insurance might cover that because it is needed, but it's your doctor has to do a lot of paperwork to have that happen. Generally, though, it's the same working ingredient. So
Every employee at Hobby Lobby 50 fucking morning after pills and gave it to him for free and just solved the fucking problem. And that's the majority of their controversies. They're all just culture war nonsense issues. But then we get to the religious artifact smuggling. All right, so before we get into this, I got to give you guys some background on like tax law and tax code, just so we're all on the same page. Some of this is going to be a review for a lot of you guys, but some of this is just misconceptions that people have. Okay, so first thing we have to understand is what is a tax write-off? Because a lot of people think they understand it, they actually don't.
It's when you buy something for your business and the government pays you back for it.
Oh, and who pays for it?
Nobody. You write it off.
People hear tax write-off and they think, oh, that's money that they save right out of the gate. That's not really how that works. So I'm just going to give you a real-life example to clear it up, okay? Hypothetically speaking, say that I make $100,000 a year and I donate $1,000 to charity, okay? People seem to have the conception that now I have to pay $1,000 less in taxes. That's not how that works. So you didn't actually save $1,000, you saved $400 and donated $600. Now it's like normal people doing charitable donation type stuff, but when rich people like billionaires and big companies, they have ways of getting tax write-offs that actually make them money. The most notorious and most famous is the fine art method, okay? So if a company like Hobby Lobby, hypothetically speaking, comes along and wants to invest in some fine art. Say they go to a fancy New York art gallery and they buy a painting for $100,000 and they sit on it for 5 years. And then 5 years later, they hire some fancy art appraiser to come in and appraise this piece of art. And the art appraiser comes in and says, oh my God, this thing's absolutely brilliant. I think it's worth $20 million. Then the company can donate that artwork to a museum and their tax write-off is not for the $100,000 they spent on the painting. The tax write-off is for the $20 million that it's appraised at. So they didn't save 40% of $100,000. They didn't save that $40,000 in tax write-offs. They saved 40% of $20 million in tax write-offs. So effectively, they paid $100,000 to get out of paying millions of dollars in taxes.
Sounds like money laundering with the government involved. Anyway.
Is that right? I have no idea, but it's absolutely 100% legal. Hobby Lobby decided they were going to do the same thing, but instead of buying fine art, they decided that they were going to buy ancient religious artifacts because, well, that's what they're into. They're evangelical Christians. They want to be able to buy all these Christian artifacts as an investment, and then they could donate them to a museum, make sure that those things are then preserved for history, and they get to save millions of dollars in taxes while doing it. It's a win-win as far as they're concerned. So in like 2010, they just start buying up all the biblical artifacts artifacts that they can find. They have no experience in buying this stuff. And when you buy something like this, there's like channels and ways that you're supposed to do this. You're supposed to, I don't know, make sure it wasn't.
I just had a random thought that is okay. I'm tired, so my brain is. I might have disassociated a little bit. Going back to the conversation about the morning after pill or whatever, and what I was talking to you about, I just had the thought of like 95% of you guys that are watching me are actual guys. And if you make a comment of like, why are you telling me this? I don't need to know this. It means you get no bitches. If you don't need to know this, you get no bitches. I don't make the rules. Be willing to buy the morning after pill if you're willing to have risky relations, all right? Be a man. Do the right thing. Be a man and do the right thing. Or you get no bitches. Okay, sorry. Just had that thought. I don't know. Intrusive thought happened.
All the biblical artifacts that they can find. They have no experience in buying this stuff. And when you buy something like this, there's like channels and ways that you're supposed to do this. You're supposed to, I don't know, make sure it wasn't fucking stolen from another museum, for example. They don't do any of the checks. They were warned that they were going about this the wrong way. They just kept buying up thousands and thousands and thousands of artifacts, despite the fact they bought fucking chunks of the Dead Sea Scroll, which wound up later to be fake because, again, they didn't hire the right people to help them do this. And they ended up buying all these cuneiform tablets out of Iraq, including the Dream Tablet, which is part of the Epic of Gilgamesh. The Epic of Gilgamesh is one of the first human stories ever written down from Mesopotamia 3,500 years ago. Like, it's a pretty important artifact. It's literally like the Ark of the Covenant, Epic of Gilgamesh, and the Rosetta Stone. Like, it's crazy how important this artifact is, and they bought it. And oddly enough, it ended up being looted from a museum in Iraq in 2003, and they were not supposed to have it.
That belongs in a museum. So do you.
So around this point, the government gets involved and they start asking questions, at which point, you know, Hobby Lobby kind of pleads ignorant, you know, like, oh, I'm just, you know, a billionaire and I didn't know that I had to go through all these checks and balances to buy this kind of stuff. They basically play it off like, I didn't know any better, my bad, which, you know what? Maybe, but they shot themselves in the foot because when they imported them into the US, they had them labeled in US customs as ceramic tile samples, which not true. So they ended up getting in a shit ton of trouble. They had to return the Epic of Gilgamesh and like 3,000 other artifacts over. They got returned to Iraq and Egypt, and they had to pay a $3 million fine. But there was a bunch of other artifacts that they did get to keep. And then with those artifacts, they had them appraised, and I was able to find that the average appraisal that they got was approximately 3 times what they actually paid for them. And then they donated them to a museum and got a huge tax write-off. And that is where most people quit digging because that was enough damning evidence, and most people just care about making Hobby Lobby look bad. I don't care about making Hobby Lobby look bad. I just want to know what the fuck happened. I like facts. I like the truth. So I asked one simple question. What museum did they donate them to? They donated them to the Bible Museum in Washington, D.C., to which
I didn't even know there was a Bible museum in Washington, D.C.
I had one more question. Who owns the Bible Museum?
Does the guy that owned Hobby Lobby own the Bible Museum? Did he just donate it to himself? Bitch. Bitch.
Motherfucking David Green, the same one that owns Hobby Lobby.
Bitch.
Son of a bitch.
Do you understand what I've just told you? Okay, dude literally became a billionaire by selling knickknacks and is like, you know what? I'm into religious artifacts. I'm gonna start a collection because I'm a billionaire and I can do whatever the fuck I want, which, you know what? Good for you. That's great. He starts his little collection and then he's like, you know what'd be cool if I donated these to a museum, but also I'm a collector. Collectors like having their own shit. That's the whole point of collecting something. How can I possibly get a humongous tax write-off and also get to keep all...
Question, is his house or apartment connected to the museum so he can shut it down and go wander around his little shit, like knickknacks? His historical knickknacks?
my cool shit. Oh, I know. I'll just own the museum that I'm donating stuff to so I still get to control everything. I'm not even mad. I'm impressed. Whether it's right or wrong, I don't know, but it's absolutely brilliant. So him being super religious is all just an act so he can look like a good guy, but he's actually not. No, that's not what that means at all. It is not hypocritical for a Christian to avoid taxes, okay? At no point in the Bible was Jesus ever like, hey,
I'm pretty sure the number one thing that does not have to pay taxes in this country are churches. Churches don't pay taxes, my guy.
hypocritical for a Christian to avoid taxes, okay? At no point in the Bible was Jesus ever like, hey guys, what if we gave the Romans more money? Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not co-signing everything this guy does. I'm just saying I'm good at putting myself in other people's shoes to understand their perspective. And from a very, very Christian man's perspective, being able to give less money to the government so they can, I don't know, buy $60,000 missiles to shoot at people that live in mud huts so he can collect biblical artifacts, put them in a museum, preserve them for everybody else, and share them with the world, hopefully convincing more people to become Christian to save them, is probably a net positive from his point of view. I'm just saying, you can call this guy a lot of things, but you cannot say he's not a legitimate, super devout Christian. Because at the end of the day, for better or worse, he was legitimately willing to close Hobby Lobby down over the Plan B thing, and he still gives away 50% of his profits to charity. Now, granted, some of that 50% of profits is him buying cool biblical artifacts and sticking them in his museum, but again, from his perspective, that's a good thing because he's sharing the word of God and trying to, you know, help educate people and preserve it for mankind. Facts are facts, and whether you like it or not, this is 100% legal, and I usually, more often than not, subscribe to the theory of don't hate the player, hate the game. I need to start a World War II museum, buy a bunch of cool shit, and then donate it to myself and save a bunch of money. Anyways, thanks for watching my knick-knack-induced panic attack.
I would say I could make an anime museum, but that's not really true. I would need more stuff.
Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch over the
Warheads on foreheads.
FatElectrician.com.
Fat Electrician.
Bang.
Wait.
Panic attack. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch over the FatElectrician.com.
Okay.
Quack bang out. All right, I gotta go call Brandon Herrera. Definitely not to pitch him a war hero and gun history museum. Okay, bye. Oh, wait, hold on.
Okay.
I actually have an announcement. All right, for 4th of
Okay.
July, I'm giving away a fully decked out Jeep Gladiator. It has absolutely everything. It has 44-inch wide front and rear axle.
It does everything? Can it fly?
It's
Anyway.
a 3.5-inch lift, aftermarket shocks, 37-inch tires with a
Those are some nice rims.
full-size spare in the back, and custom leather interior.
Slow down, baby.
All you have to do to get entered to win is head over to Bunker Branding or theFatElectrician.com and buy some Fat Electrician merch. I don't care what it is. Shirts, hats, hoodies, water bottles, rubber ducks, absolutely anything is fair game. For every $5 you spend between June 30th and July 31st, you are automatically going to be entered one time to win this Jeep Gladiator. We're going to
Who wants a Jeep that is pretending it's a truck? Anyway, go buy some merch.
announce the winner in August. Now, the downside of all of this is that you're not allowed to do nice things without the government getting their cut too, meaning that if you win this Jeep, it's going to count as taxable income on your tax return, and you're going to have to pay thousands and thousands of dollars, both in sales tax, registration, and this being taxable income on your taxes. So I'm also going to give the winner a check for $10,000 to hopefully cover all of that. It kind of depends on state to state, and of course, it's going to come with an autographed rubber duck.
Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for!
Pretty sure you also have to pay taxes on the $10,000? Like gift tax? Gift tax is a thing. That is how a lot of people got kind of like screwed over by Oprah Winfrey. You got to pay, like gift tax is a thing. Funny enough.
So yeah, go get some Fat Electrician merch over at Bunker Branding or theFatElectrician.com. Quack bang out. So if you want to give Supremacy World War III a try, it's free, both available on PC and mobile. If you use my link and discount code down below, you're going to get a bunch of extra freebies. I'm going to go find a beer.
Okay. Bye. Thank you for the video. Okay, bye. Till next time.